Hi everyone, it's Pete here from the Royal Institution. The climate crisis is one of the most pressing issues to face our modern world, and understanding how people are affecting the natural world is vital to tackling it. However, the climate varies on many different scales naturally across the world. It could be blisteringly hot in London, whilst at the same time being cold and rainy in Highland mountains. Therefore, it's vital that we understand how the climate can change naturally to then understand how much impact human activity is having. So to explore some natural climate trends we see across the world, let's journey back over to the mystical land of Hyrule and make some climate observations with our budding climatologist Link. So we're starting off here at the top of a mountain. We can see barren, bare rock with no sign of life. It's also pretty cold up here. You can see the thermometer at the bottom right of the screen. There's a simple explanation for this. Air pressure is a lot lower at high altitudes, and gases cool as their pressure decreases. In fact, at the top of a 5,000 metre peak like this, the air pressure is almost half that at sea level. Also, the higher up you are, the easier it is for heat to radiate out into space. So now let's glide down a little and see what changes occur. Well, straight away you should see that the temperature has been rising as we're going down, and this is because the air pressure is increasing. Now that I'm further down as well, you might start to see some greenery and vegetation growing. We saw no plant life at the top of the mountain because it was simply too cold and dry for anything to survive. We are now low enough that small plants and shrubs can capture just enough moisture to survive. Let's go a little bit further down and we'll also start to see trees growing. This is what's known as the tree line. Trees can't grow higher than this altitude because there simply isn't enough carbon dioxide in the lower pressure air for trees to be able to get enough to grow. Let's carry on a bit further down and finish off our flight. We've just landed in this lovely lush wooden meadow which is quite close to sea level. The temperature is much warmer than at the top of the mountain, rainfall is much more frequent, and we're surrounded by trees and other vegetation. The climate here is completely different to the top of the mountain, but this is just a natural trend that we're seeing. If we complete a similar kind of trip from other mountains, we'll see quite different results. So here we're going down from the same mountain, but towards the coast. And as we get down to lower altitudes, because evaporated seawater gets blown inwards and falls as rain when these winds hit coastal mountains, these areas are much more rainy and we see kind of these lush tropical rainforests that you can see down below. And in the opposite trend, if we go down from a high mountain towards an inland desert, we start off at the very cold temperature, but we'll see the temperature rise much more quickly to a much higher lower temperature. And that's because most of the rainfall has landed on coastal areas, leaving this inland area quite dry. And that means all of the heat from the sun goes into heating up the floor or the ground, raising the local temperature much more significantly than in our lush meadow we saw earlier. So these are just a few simple patterns that we can observe in person, but climatologists will make much more complicated models of how the climate changes naturally. And this understanding is one of the key ways that we can then see what damage humans are doing to the planet, and hopefully how we're managing to fix it as well. I hope you've enjoyed this short video and enjoy the rest of the exciting videos a part of this month's Global Science Show. Thank you.